So this is the kind of thing that I want to express of how players or other speedrunners have done Wave Race or any other games in the past for speedrunning. So let's take a look at a few things of how this works to the leaderboards. I do want to mention a few things before we do it. I don't make these rules at all. They go to the website, and these are for the mods that make these decisions to this game particularly. Video is required, and if you have your video ready to go, you're good to go. I would suggest capture cards are highly recommended because that helps with the proof standards to the leaderboard. Um, if you don't have it ready and prepared, if it's picture or if it's a best time, for example, like 58 9XX on Lost Temple Lagoon normal, it will not be accepted. So try to use speedrun.com as always. It is the video must be reasonable enough viewing quality to see everything that's going on in the game. It is highly recommended to record with game audio. So if it's like your threshold needs to be higher or in the mid section, any writer may be used, like Hayami or Mariner or Stewart. Custom Watercraft settings are allowed, like top speed, acceleration, and tight or loose. Pausing is not allowed during the run for time attack stages, but if it's like before and after, it's not a big deal. Don't worry about it. Except for all circuits, any percent. This includes the American version and Japanese version and the PAL version. Next is cheat codes are not allowed for time attack and championship categories. Those ones that are like action replay cheat codes. If you want to use them for fun, that's fine, but not as a run itself because that eliminates integrity, and that could either reject your run or get you banned. So please don't cheat. It's not worth your time. Just play legit as usual. For emulators, save states are not allowed during the run. If it's for practice, it's fine, just not during it. Live streaming, hand cams, and input reviewers are not required, but it would be cool. It's just it you can do whatever it is you feel comfortable with. Suggestions for submitting runs. Original console is what I encourage you to get. It like the Wii because it's faster than the GameCube. Since the Wii it has updated its loading screens, not the GameCube one. So I would suggest using it for RTA categories. And if you want to turn off the music or voices, if it annoys you, that's fine. But the sound effects are encouraged or needed because it needed for verification process for like buoy sounds, the water, and the turbo boosters and the turbo ticks that it needs to be. The music can be turned on if it helps with your concentration of the stage you're at. Save your times with a memory card if you do want to start from scratch. Pick the best weather setting on any stage. It could be sunny for Lost Temple Lagoon to normal, or stormy on Southern Iowa normal. Strong water keep for light showers, or Arctic Bay hard for rainy, or just any stage that you feel comfortable. Pick a stage that you feel the most comfortable. Then watch all the runs from SRC, from the players that have been doing it in the past. I would also suggest look at the first person replays for all weather conditions by me on YouTube to look at different varieties of weather. So, capture card recommendations. The one I've used is the Elgato HD60S, and that supports with this mini rad smart HDMI output and input video input with the video component cables to the VCR. That supports with like the American version and Japanese version and the PAL. So pick any of these. You can also find the ones that the 64 moderators that people suggest. So I would encourage you to look at these things and see what feels comfortable to you. I do want to address something here. It's a speedrunner slash YouTuber who is famous named R White Goose, and he made a statement about every good record must have a video. This is about like speedrunners that are having good records to a game that you must have something to prove with.
Every good record must have a video. Enough of this nonsense. It's time to start taking this seriously. It is a little bit excusable to not have your shit together when you're in your infancy as an online community. Now there's like a lot of people interested in the game. It's not just like a niche group of kids hanging out anymore. Like, this is serious stuff. Let's treat it seriously. So every single run now must have a video, must have a good quality captured video. And anyone who's caught faking a video at this point on is permanently banned from the rankings. If you had a fake run on the rankings at that point, you could come forward, say it was fake, you'd get like slapped on the wrist, you'd be forgiven. It was kind of like the Great Atonement. Kind of like if you know Christianity, the death of Jesus allowed it for everyone to be forgiven for their sins, right? Anyone could come forward, confess their fake runs, and be forgiven, and be able to be still on the rankings and competing.
Now, let me make this clear to all of you that are here. I'm not trying to sabotage you or make you feel bad or what you're doing wrong, any of that. I'm not here for those things. I'm just want to make some friendly reminders of how you're doing well and what you're trying to accomplish to the run that you're having trouble with. And not a lot of people come for me, but I usually check on things on the website to see what has been wrong, and that's why I've been posting forums just to make this better for the community and to the website. Um, I just trying to make this stuff better. Just take it seriously, what needs to be done, and how do I get things done around here. Now, I'm just gonna I'm just gonna make this a point clear. Since I'm the Wave Race Bootstorm champion, just do the run. No exceptions, please. Just do the run. Do your best. Do whatever it takes to become the best Bootstorm player that you can be. Do the run. I don't care. Just do your thing. Okay? As you can tell, I've been posting this on Discord for the people who are frustrated and not feeling well or struggling in competitions for speedrunning. This usually helps to make you healthy and be good at something that you enjoy, or if you want to learn something new. So the fact of the matter is, I can't actually help you unless you give me something or put more the effort into your run. Does that make sense?
Yes!
Again, always do your best. And if you check off any of these things, just come back, try again. It's always easy. Here are some suggestions for beginners for Wave Race Bootstorm. So, you don't have to learn advanced stunts or any of that if you're not good at it. I just want you to take as much time as you need for if you're struggling with these things, not on every level or category. It takes a lot of practice and work to learn about these concepts, and um, there's no rush. Take as time as you need. It's completely understandable. Um, Keep doing your best. Take breaks while recording or streaming. Um, I will be cheering you on, and so will the Ray Phrase community will. Um, I would think that you can work on the roundings for the stages that you were on to get um, the lowest time as possible. You can get like 59 on Lost Temple Lagoon normal, or like 2010 on Arctic Bay normal, or like 215 on Ross Canal hard, or like 112 on Strongwater Keep. Uh, those are things that I would take. Now, for advanced speedrunners for Wave Race Storm, if you want to be part of the competition or taking this seriously or be the fastest, you have chosen poorly. Okay, so let's take a look and see how this game works. It's very janky and annoying, but it's fun in general. In terms of speedrunning, it is very hardcore when you're going for world record pace. So the character that I've been using mostly is David Mariner for all the time attack stages except for um, Raz Canal, a hard expert. So I choose Hayami because of his balance in turning is real good. Um, so he also is good for hard circuit and expert circuit because of the Raz Canal stages that you have to be good at with the turnings and not hitting like chairs or anything like that. Um, and next is the GameCube controller, as we can see right here. Then the new brand Nintendo GameCube, because these buttons are very much better than the ones that don't have labels on them. Um, so the black one is recommended. Um, I also got the Smash Ultimate controller. It is exceptional, uh, or acceptable to use. So you have to, my thumbs or my thumb is on the A button, and I had to press Y a few times to stand on the water, and the X buttons for turbo. We'll get to that in a sec, but I'm just showing you how these buttons are much better to use. Um, um, there are other controllers to use, like Nintendo Club, Panasonic, or Mario, the Luigi Peach, Yoshi. Smash Bros for like the Wii U is fine. If you found like a wireless controller, that's something new. Um, it could be used for any other console. They work for turnings and stunts. They could be available at video game stores or eBay, depending on the conditions. Um, I would say the generic ones are not very good because it might be hard to mash buttons if you're doing like the menus or if you're hitting wide too much. So if you're buying like the official brand of the controller, it could cost money and hard to find to depending on what you're looking for. So I would say please don't break your controller because it's not worth it. It could cause circuit board issues and the camera issues, or if the control stick's not working. So the following has to be what you have to pay attention to in order to be the fastest Blue Store player ever. Animation, including stunts, turns, and crashes. Um, so, like the spinning or the bullet, those are the ones that we've been using to see while using the bullet. You gotta turn um, and make sure you're not crashing through walls or buoys because you have to be as close as you can to where you're going for. Um, the editing of the game itself, like fade ins or fade outs, and the audio mixing and the button mashing for like menus or like title screens and the result screens. Yeah. Um, you can only miss 4 buoys, not 5, because you'll be disqualified for like circuits, and you can lose a lap record if you miss 5, if it's like the best lap record there is. Um, there's no need to do camera movements for C stick. Just keep it way as it is. It doesn't have to be long or close ups or anything. Uh, Pay attention to buoy sound effects of how much turbo meter, how much turbo meter you need. Uh, Always be hearing bop 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 bop. Uh, Recommended stunts, bullet, heel clicker, can, left or right, knack knack, and standing. Um, Stunts are okay, like Superman. Other stunts I would not use because like flip sub, cowboy, backwards, or handstand. They could be used for like stunt mode, but for like time attack, it's sometimes gets a little weird. So you have to always be precise. Um, with so like this for bullet. So this is how you gotta do it. So so it gets a little weird at times. So um turnings like turning left or turning right uh for what you're going the path correctly. Turnings while using the bullet trick. Bullet here. Always turn there counterclockwise. Uh, be aware of championship points, like how many points you have for first place. Um, like 80%, you have to be very careful for like how many points you have. Because CPUs could easily trick you of how many points you have. So it could bump you to like fourth place on normal circuit any percent of because you have to do retired 2 stages. Um, so there's like uh, 8 players, includes me, but there's 7 of CPUs that could like bump you or get in the way of your run if they crash or get ahead of you for like hard or expert. So be aware of that. Wave directions for like any other weather conditions from like north, south, east, and west, depending on the circumstances from like this much. Get ahead of the cycle while using turbo boosters and stunts particular. Check how much feet of water is used for like sunny or partly cloudy. Look at the crest and trough, like crest here and trough there. Look at the speed meter of how much speed you have. Avoid bouncing too much. Um, so it's like always keep pressing Y without bouncing too much on the wave that you're in. Um, Always be looking out for objects in the water like crates, icebergs, barrels, and sticks from like Aspen Lake, Ocean City Harbor, or the Raza Canal or Arctic Bay because they have like really bad positions that you're in from the difficulty that it has. So always be on the look on that. So this is the one that people really wanted to know about POW. The Watercraft speed is faster in the POW version than the American version. However, has this version has normal gameplay than what POW has, because the difference being is the button mashing menus can get really slow, but that's just how the version actually is. So if you're living in US or Japan, it's up to you. I'm not gonna force you to play it unless you're fully prepared to play it. It takes a lot of time to get the timing on the stunt structure and the excellent amount of speed to have. So if you're living in any other country like UK, England, Denmark, Sweden, France, Switzerland, Europe, New Zealand, Australia, or Italy, this version might be for you if you want to use this rather than the American version. But if you are outside, try using the Japanese version if you want to. Uh, but we'll talk that later. For emulators, Model posted this for like if you want to use Dolphin or Nintendo, if you don't want to start from the whole thing from scratch, it takes a lot of effort to beat the game in general. So um, this file might be helpful. If there's an issue, contact Modal and he'll figure this out. I were thinking that external hard drive, Dropbox, or Google Drive is better to save a file to where you're at if you're having trouble saving it. So being cautious while submitting runs to the leaderboard. Um, Always check the run closely before submitting it because sometimes it can cause issues on like your capture card or computer wise if it's not supportive enough or if it's outdated or too many things in your computer that um it could cause like video codec issues if it's buffering or if it's audio wise. So driver easy is what I would use because it helps with the graphics card and your outdated audio or video wise. Um, I would think that 720p is strongly recommended to see what you need to see clear vision of the game. If it's like sunny, to see like the clear water and the sky and everything that's going on. Uh, 480p is fine, just like 1080p is excellent too if that's your thing. So for Watercraft settings, these are the things that we've been using for the past. So acceleration here, top speed here, tight and loose. Um, it defaults to this bubble, the circle, and this circle here. So you have to do all this to the right since it doesn't save your custom settings, which is painful, but that's just how it is. The difference being top speed is how much speed your player has, and acceleration has particular speed to if it's how much you're turning wise. The tie is much better to use rather than lose. Uh, so for Mariner is this for with the turnings particular. But for Ryota is where I'm using it because of how much his speed has rather than having him going that way because of his arrangements from how much the player has much different abilities and if it's mechanic wise. Um, Choose any color you feel comfortable. It's not required, but so pick whatever you feel comfortable. So this is called the turbo meter rather than the max power. Uh, so Andro has documented the buoy sections of how much turbo ticks that you need. So like short period of time, add power level 4 right here. And better than continue at max power longer, let turbo run if it's full course, turbo sooner, depends on buoys and how long you'll bet at turbo at lower than max power, right? 2 and 3. And point of turbo at max power until moment before buoy. 1, 2, 3, 4. And the stunt right here, point of turbo at max power until moment before buoy, or maybe it's better to turbo early, uh, like turbo again, right here. So let's say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and the kilometers here, the numbers of how much you have. So let's take sound effects that we have. So if you can hear these things, those are like pitches that you have to hear to like so if you like 5, it expires, so you have to be like bop 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 bop. So like here's the sound that turbo expires. Here's it again. So the point being of turbo, if it expires, you have to raise up the in order to get boost power, um, rather than because in 64 it doesn't have the ability to give you benefits for stunts that you have to count from like buoy to buoy to buoy, because it doesn't work like that but for this game, it's just that's the whole point of stunts, to get you the beneficial of how much you need. So if you like missed a buoy, the it expires very quickly, um, and you will have enough time to like getting from one buoy to the next, depending on what stage you're at. So you gotta be very careful with the sound. So like if you hear this sound, it won't count as your tick. That's the whole point of the turbo meter, to get the best ticks from like what buoy you're trying to go for. If it for the wrong spots, it could cause resets and will get very frustrated too. So the recommended stunts that I would use for like heel clear, when you go on the ramp, that's the first time that I've tested it for Southern Island hard, because you have to use that trick in order to skip a buoy from to get more ticks to have. Um, that way you can have more ability to have more speed with the stunt that you have. For example, if you've seen like WaveRunner, see how it goes up and use the legs up like that. And the other trick is left or right can, what he goes, the legs move up to the air, or if it just goes left, um, uh, bullet, um, 3 ticks while holding the control stick up, then wave for 1 tick at a time. So it goes bop, bop, and bop. Or if it goes bop, bop, and bop. Spinning just twirls around. It might be easier for like PAL if your speed isn't enough for the NTSC version, because you mostly have to do bullet stunts and to be the speed to get ahead of the cycle that you're on. Um, but for spinning for a PAL, just spin right here and one at a time until you press X to go for the buoy, and then buoy after that. So here we have the weather system: sunny, cloudy, light showers, rainy, and stormy. For sunny, it's just clear. There's not much cloudy. It's just calm waves and very good atmosphere. There's no rain or anything like that. But for cloudy, it gets a little stronger from the wave height. Same direction, but the troughs can get really getting away. There's like clouds and moving, or if it like fades out from like sunny from passing laps at a time, you see like sunny coming back, you see the sun, but there's also clouds very visually. Or for like misty, if it's um very hard to see things particularly. For light showers, it's just soft rain, and the waves could um, easily move very quickly a little bit, depending on a high right here. But it sometimes could fade out to like sunny. Um, then you could see the fish more clearly on lap 3, but not like lap 1 or 2 particularly. Um, Rainy, it's just hard rain a little bit. Sometimes it could get uh, a little bit chaotic when you see lightning flashes from like lap 3 on either Southern Island or Aspen Lake or Strongwater Keep, um, Sissy, and also the visual waves could get a little darker, or if the sky will fade to black. Stormy is like very big. Um, on high waves, higher water, or like hard rain, and the waves could easily push away. Um, Aspen Lake might have safer bet for the movement, and but um, but not any other level on particularly. So ramps, as you can see for Southern Island normal, it's just a soft ramp right here, but there's a long ramp on hard and expert. This ramp can be on Aspen Lake because you have to go up in the air and land on the water. Here's Ocean City Harbor hard ramp because you have to go through these arrows because there's a shortcut that you can pass through the buoy. Just gotta be careful because it's a risky ramp. So next is the waves. As you can see, it can move like this rather than on 64. For Blue Storm, it just goes this way because there's a clear vision of the cycle that could move very little quicker. Um, the compass, I would say, is depending on the weather conditions from like this way or that way on the paths that you're on. So for sunny right here, you could see this much wave right here. It's just calm and the trough's a little softer. But here's the funny part, it just gets a little stronger for the troughs because it reduces your speed depending on this of your skipping this bar. Um, and this wave can move this way for light showers. It can go. It can affect just the run in general. And this one can move this way, and it's gonna bump in a few spots, um, as you could possibly imagine. And now, same direction for light showers for stormy, but it's get a little harder to get through particular for this wave to move by. So if you really like earth science, try using this guide as how this weather works for like to this game. In some cases, it could be a little weird because you could see some of the color correction if it's dark or if it's bright, or depending on colors like blue, orange, green. I will give you an example for a stage like Aspen Lake rainy, since it's like a small stage. But if it's has gray clouds and there's heavy rain, it could change different time periods on how much rain you could have. Here are some of the different clouds, like stratus, cumulus, pseudostratus, or cumulonimbus, or altostratus, or like cirrocumulus. To if it's sunny Dolphin Park, you could see a lot of clouds. Same thing with like Southern Island. Nemostratus could sometimes be mostly in Ocean City Harbor because there's not a lot of thunder strikes, nor Arctic Bay or the Raza Canal or Lost Temple Lagoon. It could be scary at times, but there's no lightning, just depending on the circumstances. Cumulus, cumulonimbus, like Southern Island does get scary on stormy. If you could see very bright flashes, or if you're very nervous about epilepsy warnings, I understand that. So this is kind of thing for you if you like very bad weather. So yeah, you can see the types of clouds like stratus, stratocumulus, cumulus, stratus are in the low. Altostratus, altocumulus are in the mid. These are the kind of clouds you're probably going to see in the game, depending on the weather that you are at. Um, the cumulus is mostly for stormy, um, not just like Ocean City Harbor again, just depending on the effects particular. So to unlock all weather to play the time attack runs or just unlocking every single circuit that you want, you're just gonna have to be exhibition circuit, dolphin park, um, normal circuit that is 5 stages, hard circuit 6 stages, expert circuit 7 stages. That's the whole game. But there's also tutorials that you have to unlock, like the trial version for stunt mode and dolphin park. So for time splits, I did want to mention something about that. This you can see right here is from like 1, 2, 3 laps that you have. I will say that 2 and 3 are the ones that for particular for 1 lap records. Depending on the stage, it doesn't include from like circuits because there's not enough space from um how many times that you have, so it just has CPUs, your turbo meter, and your time limit and the number of how much if you're placed in first or second or fourth. So I advise you to have these results ready in because of that is needed for verification. Um so if you PB on lap 2 or 3, um it can easily show of how much that you've PB'd saved from a memory card, and you can put your name entry, your own name entry, and it could show you if it's third, second, or first, or your best lap, your fastest lap, or and character name and what circuit you were on, if it's time attack or if it's championship, and um, and what stage you were on. So please have these results ready. So like again, no saves or initials for exhibition circuit, just shows you the laps at the end of the run. So I advise you to use this for like video purposes. It might be helpful for verification. So here is the all circuit setup that I found in the American Wii console that I'm using. Same thing with the PAL. As you can tell by the question mark, is when you unlock on the final day of the circuit that you were on. So like it goes day 1 sunny, day 2 partly cloudy, day 3 sunny, day 4 rainy, final sunny. Same thing. Day 1 sunny, day 2 sunny, day 3 cloudy, day 4 rainy, day 5 sunny, final sunny. Expert for day 1 sunny, day 2 sunny, day 3 cloudy, day 4 rainy, day 5 sunny, day 6 sunny, final sunny. So depending on what stage you're on, I will show you what options you can have. So for submitting runs, always be sure that individual levels are ranked using in-game time, not real time. So you don't have to put your real time here. you could just put that in the in-game time. The mods will cover that for you. I will alert you if it's a little confusing. So, complete exhibition circuit in the top third. If you're in fourth place, you will advance in normal circuit. Video required. Just be sure to put your in-game time, not your real time. Now, complete normal circuit in the top three without retiring. This includes hard and expert circuit. You don't retire on any of the stages that you run. The mods will switch it because you're using 80% category. Retiring is not allowed. Timing begins on the first course, like Lost Temple Lagoon or Aspen Lake or Ocean City Harbor or Southern Island. And timing ends from the first frame. The checkered pattern appears on the player icon after finishing on the stage that you've unlocked. So let's check on any percent because this is the easiest that you could do. Um, Start from a new file, not from your memory card that you save, because it could change the weather system and it could shuffle if you reset um, uh, a circuit that you run. It just keeps shuffling and it could affect the file. It could affect the run itself if it's a new file that you have. Um, you can always re-enter custom Watercraft settings before the run. Um, Complete a course in order to preset your initials for the fastest times. You could do that in time attack run if it's sunny, because you can't use cloudy or anything else. Just timing begins on exhibition circuit and it ends at the final of strong water keep. If you want to um, keep pausing from like retire and hit yes, and it will end time if you click yes. So retiring is allowed, but you must be top three from end of each circuit. Um, Emulators and non-loading disk methods are not allowed since we had to ban it because of it could cause a lot of times save, and that's gonna make it frustrating to get ahead because of what I'm using, like the American version that I use, not the GameCube, because that's slower. So same thing, just start a new file for no retire all circuits. um, I will say resetting the console to save time is not allowed. Um, I will point out that it doesn't work like that because you have to start a new file every time that you had to reset the game itself. It it gets a little confusing if you had to use a memory card in order to use that particular category. But so I would say no memory cards, just start a new file that you are trying to go for. 100% is everything that you have to complete on. It's the basic and advanced tutorials to unlock Dolphin Park stunt mode. And then um you quitting out of the trial mode is allowed. You don't have to complete that. It to only you only have to unlock it. Um I will say if you're going from like all circuits then tutorials, it could cause some more time loss. So I would just go from like tutorials, then go to all circuits. It is brutal at times, and it could, um, yeah. So it's just very brutal to beat it. I will say try using this guide for like my runs that you were trying to accomplish, that you want to go for, but for experience, the 47-minute mark to 53-minute mark could cost a lot of time. And I find that people were struggling about how do I go to like one stage to the next, or if I'm mashing the buttons a lot, will get very flummoxed. That will probably end up hurting you more than helping you in terms of playing this game. So I would just go to like 80% for like your beginning startup. So here the version that I would suggest playing is the Japanese and American for my time attack stages, exhibition circuit, normal hard, and expert, no retire, and any percent. Same thing with all circuit and any percent. They're like um the same uh play method from like on the loadings, and they don't affect you much. But 100% is the American I would suggest, because of Japanese version has some issues with like the Japanese announcer that could slow down a few times, or could make it a little faster depending on the tutorials you're trying to complete. Um, but for PAL, it's everything about PALs. It's same thing with the American version, but it's slower frame rates and button mashing. So it'll give you like congratulations screen if you've unlocked all of these weather conditions, and like if you beat strong water keep at the end of expert circuit. So you did a good job. Now you're ready to play the game. Now here we have time attack stages. Since you completed all the circuits. Lost Temple Lagoon. In normal, it's kind of like Sunny Beach, but it's very short. As you can see, you go from like here, you'll see boats and a bunch of buoys here and here. It's a little longer, and um, when you go from like because of the borders that they block. So you have to pass one boon to the next and follow these arrows right here. And same thing with the expert. Same long distance, but different routing points. Uh, here. Hard expert is different since it's had color wise, because it's like Sunset Bay wise. Here's the classic stage, Southern Island. Uh, as you can see, it goes from like here, then you pass these boat whenever you're in the first lap, and you go from like here to here then go through these arrows and see these stairs. I've been using that since it gives you more speed. You just gotta aim it correctly and don't hit buoys as much. If you want to go to the shortcut and through this tunnel and go through here to go through these rocks and go through there, and the water will lower down since same thing happened with the 64. Um, go through here and it'll go through there. Uh, Different for hard, it's same distance from time wise, but the buoy changes here from like this much. You don't have to go through to this boat if you're on the second or the third lap. You just first lap go through this much and go through this ramp, and once you're there, just do the heel clicker past this buoy here, there, and shortcut there, and what? Be on the lookout how many buoys you miss. You don't have to go through this path. Just go through this on second lap in here and around the boat here and this much right here and there. Expert is very long. Here it goes this way, and the borders are being blocked off, so you can't go through that way. So you have to go through this much right here, and then you can only skip this way on laps 2 and 3 because of these very big waves that could like hurt your speed much. So if you go this way, this ramp heel clicker, then you have to go this way. Boop, boop, bop, 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 here, and then you're good. I will say that for 64 wise, it's different because of ship of color wise and the polygons. There's not much uh, areas that way, and same things can pass this way since there's not like an edge I had to cross through. Um, I will say that the ramp is not the same thing with normal. Um, it only happens with hard and expert. Um, then you have to see these ramps are the same thing. Aspen Lake. Similar to Drake Lake if you're into like calm weather. So it goes right this way, go through the ramp, and avoid sticks at all times. Same routing for hard, but the difference being are the buoy changes. Um, since you have to cross this way and figure out how much stunts you can pull off to and not hit much right here. Skip only these two buoys from laps 2 and 3. Expert is reverse, and you have to be on the lookout for rocks and buoy wise. If you really want to go through this way, for fast lap, you just gotta go through this way, right here, and just right this way. Ocean City Harbor. Here is kind of like poor blue because of the ship. Here you're from Star, from Sunny, you just gotta go through these way, not the on the ramp, because you have to go, because it's hard to get through the ramps. So you have to go this way to pass two buoys, this way, and avoid this ramp, go around this way, this way, this way. Second lap and third lap here, go this way, and you'll be done. Hard is the brutal one that people are so not very pleased with this shortcut here, because you have to do it in second lap for and third lap for three laps particular. So first lap go here, and uh, for third lap for fast pace, be on the lookout for here and here. Expert is reversed. I will say that there are cranes that are coming by. Same thing with normal. There's gonna be like a crate dropping. So you gotta be careful with um, the wave cycle going this way. There are gonna be two drops from like ones and twos right here. Lap and same thing. Ramps right here. You just got to keep doing heel clickers, or if you want to skip two buoys this way, because I've done that in the third lap. If you're going for fast lap, just go through this tunnel. Same thing with the port blue on the port blue hard. This way here, and heel clicker there, here, there, and skip, and you're good. Here we have Arctic Bay, similar to Glacier Coast. So for normal, you could see how it's nighttime, and you could see the aurora, or the colorful signal of the light. And you could see the arrows coming by. If you see like the glacier, it could happen one time, but hard it's only two times from like ones and twos. But you could see like this really big cruise ship that you have to ride by. There were waves coming forward, so you got maybe precise with the waves. Go from here and go to this area, and this there and here, here, and then go skip two buoys here, right here, and you're good to go. Hard is a little similar. You just gotta. It's very long too, so it's about like maybe 2 minutes long, and this goes to like this much here. Then the arrows there. There's there. So for lap one, don't skip buoys there. You can only skip buoys if you go to this shortcut. For my laps 2 and 3. So this is a higher risk that you gotta be on the lookout for. Right here, and so for lap 3, there's not gonna be a drop coming by, and you're done here. Expert, it's straight, but the difference being is the routing, so you gotta be careful with where you're going for. So let's check this out. It's this way, and it goes this way, and this way. You could try doing the shortcut ramp on 3 laps at a time for light showers, because of wave directions that could easily help with your cycle. The sunny is very rough to go through, so it goes this way. Yeah, just gotta be careful with that. Here we have the Raza Canal. Goes forward here, and you don't have to skip buoys. You only have to focus on bullet points with Ryota and be careful with the turnings and turbo wise. So skip through this way, uh, and this way too, and this way. Expert is reversed. Do not have to skip buoys. Just gotta be careful with the turnings and roundings. Bump up here and over there. There's gonna be a shortcut over here, and that can uh, boost your stairs wise. So don't go through here, only go through there. Strong water keep is the final stage of the game. To skip maybe like, I would say, this much. Uh, you don't have to skip that one if it's on lap 1. If it's not good for you, you could try on lap 3, because I think Telphus and Azalea might skip buoys, particularly on Twilight City reverse, because you have to do count how many buoys and turning wise you have to look at. Go from here and here. This uh, you can skip this much. This is the skip you have to look at. This red buoy here, here, and you're here, and you're good. So before I go, I wanted to give you out some information. So I wanted to give some advice about being a mod. Just make sure to read the following. Just ask like a regular mod or a super mod to ask questions of how it works to apply. Um, if you want to be a BS mod, just read the terms and conditions not only to the community server but to the website. Always be honest and show integrity to the community. Be more secure and always be on the lookout for their behaviors. Um, um, Always look out for runs very needed for the game categories. Um, Respect the moderator's rules like video policies. Um, what suggestions are needed to make the story better for the run itself. Um, Current moderators have to make tough decisions to pick someone who cares about the game and the community and see what's best for the game and make decisions of what they should do. Um, if anything goes wrong with the run, if you're getting emails, don't worry about it. Just edit what is needs to be fixed, if it's broken links or if it's the wrong category. Just let uh, Modo or Zalia know. Um, they'll let you know if it needs to be fixed. So you're fine. It's not gonna hurt you or anything. Um, I will say that your mod status will be removed if you break the rules, or just don't like them in particular. if you don't feel comfortable with this kind of stuff, if you're feeling burnout, have a lot of things in mind, just ask the super moderator to remove your status, and they'll find someone um, that is very valuable to the community in general. So, this is entirely up to you if you want to be a mod for Blue Storm. If you have any questions about Wave Race Blue Storm, chat in Discord, or you can talk to me in private. I'm happy to answer anything that you're having trouble with. I'll try to be more persuasive and more accurate to your question that you might have something to learn from or something that could be more advanced in the game itself. So that's all I gotta say for you. Hope you had a good time with the uh your game and the stage you're on or what comes to you, and always be more active. Okay, that's all. Welcome to Wave Race.
Good luck.